Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've not done it already, subscribe to Off the Campus Boxing Goals. Why is this unfolded? It's all bad. How is everybody doing? Hopefully everything's all in sync. Let me know if you have any audio issues or visual issues. Let's get the show on the road. I'm excited about today's show. Oh, let me close my door. Apologies, guys. See, I haven't done this in a while, so it's been a hot minute. It has definitely been a hot minute. Wow, there's a lot to discuss. Bear with me. We are live. So, haven't done it already, subscribe to Off the Campus Boxing. We are very close to 400 subs. So if you guys click the subscribe button, we can smash that target with relative ease. I think we could probably do it in this show and all. Hopefully the sound quality and visual quality is all good. Let me just, you know what? Let's do this again, actually, because I think we're out of sync. Well, I know the problem, the resolution to that. Now, first and foremost, where do we begin? For those of you guys who are unaware, this is the Fighting Talk Show. This is a weekly show that we have on Off the Campus Boxing YouTube channel where we talk about everything to do with boxing throughout the week. So that could mean upcoming fights on the weekend. That could mean the whole shabam. Put it that way, the whole shabam. So on this week's show, we'll be talking about a few things. We'll be talking about Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce. Should AJ fight Joe Joyce? Let me know in the comment section below. I think our Jason Bodon actually just commented as well. Apologies. See, big up to all the guys who are always in support. Andres Bodon said it could be a potential banana skin. And he also says that people underrate Joe Joyce. Again, I agree. For me, Joe Joyce is very, very underrated. However, is he the best opponent for Anthony Joshua at this point of time? Debatable. But we move. Now, there's been a few things, random things that happened in the boxing world. First and foremost, we've got to talk about it. Where do we begin, actually? That's a great question. Let's start with Rolly Marrero versus Gervonta Davis. This is a great fight. Is it? I always say it's a great fight, then I start regretting what I'm saying. Maybe it's the cliche thing that I'm doing. It's a decent fight. Not one for the ages. I think Gervonta Davis needs to step up. I think the Mayweather team are protecting him. Hopefully he steps up to a level where he gets to that height and then he can stay there and maintain that position. If he doesn't hit to that, if he hits that position and just carries on going up and down in terms of the quality of opponents, it's pointless at this point. What is the point? But overall, it's a decent fight. Rolly Romero, of course, was supposed to fight him last year, I think December time. But unfortunately, Rolly Romero was accused of something, a mad accusation. But in the end, they found out there was no evidence to support that suspicion. So Rolly Romero's in the clear. Now we've got some new news. Popped out an hour ago. Jack Catterall has signed to Pro Bellum. I'm excited. I think you know what? I'm not too sure with Pro Bellum, but I'm excited for Jack Catterall. I'm glad that he's getting the recognition that he deserves. Is Pro Bellum the best avenue for him? Really and truly, there's no real perfect answer because if you think about it, Josh Taylor was with Sky Sports, MTK Global, top rank, but he still wasn't a big name. But with Jack Catterall, maybe they'll do something different. I don't know. But Pro Bellum, I'm yet to be convinced by Pro Bellum. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to keep my mind open to them. Regardless of that, let's get started on the AJ talk. Okay, let me drink my water because this is gonna be an in-depth talk. Okay, hold on. Anthony Joshua. This week has been mad, absolutely mad. This week, Anthony Joshua started off the week saying, lol. Well, I think somebody said to him in particular, AJ won't fight Joe Joyce, etc. Okay, and he went on, or AJ's a duck, or I don't know what specifically that they said to cause AJ some aggro, but they said, Anthony Joshua, you have a meltdown. Oh, sorry, no, AJ said, lol, okay, I've shared the ring with most people you see in the heavyweight division. I boxed Otto Wallin as youngsters, and I boxed Joe, and I stopped him in one round. I'll do the same thing today. Ain't nothing changed. Cool, let's move. AJ then Joe Joyce then responded, and Anthony Joshua. Wait, hold on. Where's the rest of it? Okay, he said, Anthony Joshua having a meltdown. Where's your belts? All of those sponsorships, endorsements. You're a glass cannon. Quit the act. You were given everything. Hashtag easy mode. Crazy. Don't necessarily agree with that, because for me, to create that kind of luck and to create that kind of buzz around you, you have to be doing something correct. Otherwise, it's pointless at this stage. Nevertheless, I don't know. You can't put that much. You can't be an Olympic gold medalist. Some people argue that he won that that final. Regardless, he's still a Olympic gold medalist, or even at best a silver medalist. He became a world champion into what, 16th fight, 17th fight, something along those lines. He's beaten the likes of Vladimir Klitschko. Who else is beaten? A good, what's his name again? The Russian fighter, flipping Povetkin. He's beaten Joseph Parker. He's beaten Andy Ruiz, albeit it's to avenge his loss against Andy Ruiz. His PNF is not great. He's beaten Dillian White. I think he should be given his flowers, man. That's not easy mode. If anything, Joe Joyce has been kind of fast tracked just as much because of given the age and the amateur background. Nevertheless, we move. Someone said to AJ, I think today. Well, AJ said hashtag Murkies, hashtag Skegman. What's the next one? Hashtag problem. Okay, if you don't know, that's a Stormzy bar. They did something. I don't run out of bars. Just like Chip, I don't run out of bars. Listen, simple, yeah. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. It's from Wicked Skegman. Was Wicked Skegman 4, I think. I think it's Wicked Skegman 4. If you know, you know. If you weren't there, it is what it is. Anyway, AJ responded, oh, sorry, that person, again, said, stop ducking Joe Joyce. AJ said, wrong. See, why? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Guys, by the way, I've got some sound effects. For those of you guys who are unaware, I've got some sound effects. I'm going to put this on. Hold on.
Let's just hold on.
Bruv.
No, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. No.
Straight up. Like, why is AJ responding to these guys? Why is AJ responding to these guys? Because at this point, AJ, not going to lie, like, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, man. Certainly, definitely not a good look. Your former unified heavyweight champion of the world, you responded to trolls. Come on, man. Like, you're better than this. You're better than this. Yeah. I know some people are saying things like, oh, yeah, but like AJ's a duck. You don't need to respond, man. You don't need to respond. And I think AJ's going through what I like to call a regeneration phase. You know, in Doctor Who, yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, in Doctor Who, they go through some sort of regeneration phase. And what happens is that once the season is about to end, they replace different doctors. Okay, so there's been 30 years of different Doctor Who's, and after every single season they go through this regeneration phase where they go from the old Doctor to a new Doctor. Okay, and the main difference in that sense is the actor. For the most part, the actor always change. Okay, anyway, AJ for me is definitely going for a regeneration phase at this stage of his career. Most certainly, he's turning into a new AJ. He's He's being very, very unresponsive to the media, even though before he was just as bad, but I think he's getting a lot worse in terms of his relationship with the media. In terms of talking to fans, he's focusing a lot less on the whole humility approach, and he's a lot more focused on sort of trash talking and clapping back. And I'm not enjoying that one bit. I prefer the old AJ who he just used to just say, "Yeah, guys, stick to your education" and stuff like that. And that version of AJ that young people can look up to. That's the AJ that I want to remain. Knowing if it was up to me, but AJ versus JOYCE. A lot of people have been saying this is going to be a good fight. This will be great for AJ's career. Others are saying, what's the point? He's not like Alexander Usyk. He's a lot bigger. He's a lot more stiff. He's pretty much the opposite of Alexander Usyk. However, I've sort of taken the time to sort of think about it. Even though I wanted Luis Ortiz and I wanted, or my second option was a toss-up between Andy Ruiz and what's his name, the Swedish fighter Otto Rivas. I'm seeing the benefits of fighting JOYCE. Okay, for me, these are a few reasons as to why AJ should fight JOYCE. Okay, so some people aren't going to agree with these reasons. That's absolutely fine. Some people are just saying, look, to emulate Alexander Usyk to then fight Usyk following up afterwards, you're going to have to fight somebody smaller, southpaw, etc. I agree. But let's play devil's advocate. AJ, this is part of the reason as to why I think he should fight JOYCE. Okay. Number one is confidence. JOYCE is a hell of a fighter. If you can beat JOYCE, who's considered top, I would like to call it a top 10 fighter, a top 7 fighter. Okay. If you manage to beat JOYCE, for me, ratings will go higher in terms of AJ's resume. It will go higher. Okay. AJ's confidence in his own ability will be astronomical in terms of being on another Usyk. Usyk not only took another L from him, he took away his confidence. And with confidence, it takes a long time to build up, but it's very quick to shatter. Okay. So that's one thing, it's confidence. Okay. If he beats JOYCE, he's over the moon. Second thing, JOYCE has got a chin of granite. That means if you have the ability to knock out a guy with a chin of granite, respect level in terms of just the general public will go through the roof. Okay. And that's time to sort of the third reason is to become a throwback fighter. If you want to be a throwback fighter, I know this might sound bad. I know a lot of people might not agree with what I'm about to say. But if you want to be a throwback fighter, fighting someone like JOYCE will be highly beneficial because JOYCE is considered amongst the masses of the public as somebody who nobody can knock out. You can throw the kitchen sink at this gentleman and he will not fold. Okay. You can't say the same thing about a lot of the other fighters. And I remember watching and listening to documentaries of fighters in the past where they would have their comeback fight and it would be against some guy with a granite chin, and then they'll beat the guy, and then they'll be one step closer to regaining their world titles back. This could be that AJ moment for him. The moment where AJ knocks out a credible name similar to Hey Valiev, smashes the Colossus guy that is granite, built like a brick shit house, and that doesn't work on him. For me, those are some of the reasons as to why I think JOYCE will be a great opponent for AJ, especially if it's JOYCE next, followed by your Ruiz, your Usyks, people like that. Not Usyk, but Ruiz or a Luis Ortiz, somebody like that shortly afterwards. that would give AJ the technical, outing in preparation for Alexander Usyk. That for me, that is an absolutely a great way into building preparation. Fight somebody like Joe Joyce, then Luis Ortiz, then Usyk. Perfect. But all in all, I won't mind seeing that fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys want to see that fight? Of course, Joe Joyce. Yeah, on his social media account, he's not the one who's writing it. I don't believe it. He can't be. He can't be. You. A lot of people are gonna say to me, what Joe Joyce can't say. And Anthony Joshua, you're having a meltdown. Where's all your belts, all your sponsorship endorsement, bruv? He can't be writing that. No way, absolutely no way. But regardless of that, hopefully fight announcement will be announced soon. AJ's done a post or a cryptic post saying news dropping soon, and he's in his boxing stance with his shirt off. So I guess you get the gist. Fight news is coming very soon. Hopefully, I can be the bearer of good news. Regardless of that, let's move on. We have a great fight. Is it? I keep saying that. I need to stop saying that. Hold on, let me drink my drink. I need to stop saying that. Hold on. This is a good YouTube fight. For those of you guys who aren't aware, Patrice Evra will be fighting Adam Saleh on April 30th. Just to let you guys know, that is the same day as Shakur Stevenson fight and the Katie Taylor fight. Same day as Shakur Stevenson and the Katie Taylor fight. Absolutely mind-boggling. For those of you guys who aren't aware, let's start with Patrice Evra. Patrice Evra is Kuda says defo ghostwriting. 100%, 1,000%, bro. It's a ghostwriter, man. Ain't no way this guy raised on top. Anyway, back to the topic. Patrice Evra is a former Manchester United footballer. He's won pretty much everything in the sport. I don't know internationally. What did he win internationally? But from club level, you can pretty much say that he's won pretty much everything. Okay, he's won league titles. He's been one of the best left backs of all time. Okay, very positive individuals. Goes on social media, says, "I love this game." Very positive. Okay, he's fighting Adam Saleh. For those of you guys who don't know, this is a well-known Muslim YouTuber. Okay, been watching. Actually, I was watching him. I don't watch him nowadays, but sort of the early times when I was watching him was about a while. It was a while ago, man. Maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 years ago is when I started watching him. This guy, don't let it be thought. This Adam Saleh guy is not bad at boxing. He's actually a half decent. I expect him to be Patrice Evra, even though Patrice Evra is the athlete. Adam, he is a former amateur boxer. Okay, he had his license taken away from him in New York, as a result of him participating in street fights. Okay, so how it would work is that we're just stupid. He used to do street fights for some money. Okay, a group of people heard a lot. This was around the same time as World Star Hip Hop was popping. They used to hurdle around, do like a whole ring. He will be in the middle. People put bets, etc. That's how it works. Okay. Anyway, he knows how to box. Even though on Instagram and Twitter or YouTube, if you want to see him box a couple, it might look a little bit rusty. Don't get it twisted. He can actually box better than Patrice Evra, unless Patrice Evra has got some unknown skills that we don't know about, and he's been learning of Wayne Rooney and flipping Rio Ferdinand on the pads or whatever it is. Yeah, I really highly doubt that Patrice Evra would cause Adam Saleh some problems. That's just in my opinion. About the same height, 5'7" for the pair of them. About the same height, 5'7", 5'8". So it shouldn't be too bad. But I think it's a good fight. Some people don't like it because it's YouTube, but have massive from massage the chicken to a ring, from the to the ring, bruv. That chicken thing, yeah. If you guys don't know what Kuda's referring to, purchase a raw chicken. That says, "I love this game." You know, I like Patrice Evra. He might not be a Chelsea player, but you know what? I like him, man. He's my type of guy. If there was one guy I'd like in terms of our team back in the day, well, we had Ashley Cole at that time, but if he didn't have Ashley Cole, I'd prefer to have like Patrice. But he was a bad boy baller, Anyway, but he ate some raw chicken. The guy's done some questionable stuff. I like him though. He's positive, and you know what? Not a lot of people are positive in this world. So the very few that are, I would say you got to cherish them. You don't stick it up to them. So that should be a great fight. April 30th. That'll be a cracker of an event. Another thing that's going to happen on that day or week beforehand, Jared Anderson versus Christian Hamer will be fighting on the Tyson Fury versus Dillian White undercard. Okay, so for those of you guys, where is that poster? I must have that poster surely. If I don't have that poster, I'm going to be a little bit disheartened. Where is it? Hold on. Now that's mad. Yo, that's mad. That is a mad picture, bro. Where is the photo, man? Can't be this. Oh no, not this one. Sorry, wrong one. Hey yo, I can't. This is the one. Yeah. Well, hopefully, Dillian White turns up on the day, but this is all we can go off at this point. Yeah, he'll be fighting on this undercard. Jared Anderson against Christian Haber. Christian Haber is actually, I would consider Christian top, I would say 40 heavyweights. Again, for me, I think Jared Anderson needs to really step up. He's a good fighter, man. Good fighter. I can't see as to why he doesn't want to step up. That's just in my opinion. If this guy don't want to step up, I don't know, man. He's good enough to. That's the thing. Every punch he throws it with malice and intention. Even the jab, he doesn't do like AJ Usyk jab. He doesn't do like that. He literally throws jab power shots. So I really want to see him fight next, 100%. And that would be for me a great matchup. That would be a great fight in general. So I think that is most of our topic, if not all the topic. We're going to drop the link. Anybody wants to jump on, they're more than welcome to jump on. I should have dropped the link actually a bit sooner, but it is what it is. Otherwise, we might just end it here. You know what? As well, oh my God, I forgot to tell you a lot. Yeah, let me just drop the link as well. Completely forgot. Apologies, guys. Next week will be the last show until let's just check. Oops. What's going on? Yeah, next week will be the last show until I would say the first week of May. I think the first week of May. We're going off for quite some period of time, and because of the Ramadan period, I'm going to be recording as well the Dillian White versus Tyson Fury prediction video beforehand, so that will be released on the week of that fight. Am I also going to do? Am I going to do any other content? I can't do any reactions during that fight week because of the Ramadan period. So any previews, please take it with a pinch of salt because it's a month away from the fight. So things such as weigh-ins, further updates, i.e., I don't know, Dillian White comes in 5 stone overweight. I'll be like, come on, fam. Like, I won't be able to look out for that, if that makes sense. But overall, next week or all next week, you'll be getting a lot of videos, and then shortly afterwards, I'll have a month off. So if you guys see me missing, it's not because I don't want to be here. It is what it is. Anyway, big up to any reviews as well. It was on the show 2 weeks ago. Very, very knowledgeable individual. Subscribe to his channel as well, Tony's Review. Yeah, very knowledgeable individual in terms of boxing. Comes with a very different perspective. But you know what people justify that perspective? I'm always, I'm always open to hearing more. If somebody says to me, I don't know, Arsenal are the biggest team in London, yeah, which come on, like, they're not. Anyway, it's always Arsenal was biggest team in London. I'll just be like, justify it. If they come with great explanations, I'll be like, oh, maybe, but like I won't be brain dead to the fact. Anyway, he says if Joshua fights Joe Joyce, it would be career suicide. He should fight Kansas to get Usyk. No, if you're going to, that is just against what AJ stands for. Unfortunately, AJ. Let me drink some water. Hold on, guys. AJ wants to be known as for three things. He wants to be known as a great businessman in terms of in the ring stuff, so similar to Floyd. He wants to be known as a throwback fighter in terms of fighting the best names in that division at that period of time. And he wants to be an individual who's known for not ducking any challenges and leaves it all on the line and fights every person that he could potentially fight. Okay, there was another one. I think those are the three. If that is the case, fighting tomato cans isn't really going to cut the mustard. Okay, it's not. Firstly, it may not put him in preparation for Usyk. Really, because what's better, fighting tomato cans in front of a live audience of about 60,000 people, or fighting the likes of a Joe Joyce in a sparring session? I'd prefer the sparring session over that because it will put you in great preparation. It may be tough. Joe Joyce is a tough level opponent, but if AJ knocks out Joe Joyce, like that guy, like the confidence in himself, the confidence in the fans with to AJ would be astronomical, and that's something I've got to say. But I wouldn't say it's career suicide. Usyk, we don't know how, and hopefully Usyk is all is coping, man. I know that Lomachenko and the guys wanted, in terms of the Bob Arum, etc., they want to pull him out of that circumstance and want Loma to fight George Kambosos. I think it's you can't think like that, man. Like, leave the guy to make his own decisions and not try to push him to make you money. Even though he's one of the best fighters in the world, there's a time and a place for everything, man. But Usyk, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. And my assumption, I would say he'd be out for a year. So that means if AJ fights in May, April, probably first week of June. If AJ fights first week of June, then fights 3 months afterwards in, I don't know, September. I think by that stage Usyk will be all good, and AJ would have another 2 fights under his belt. That's just in my opinion. Some people may disagree, but that's just in my opinion. Big up to AJ, a hunter that gets eaten by a predator isn't a hunter, he's prey. A hunter that gets eaten by a predator isn't a hunter, he's prey. AJ has 1 loss left before his money trade is over. No, actually, I would disagree. And the reason why I would say I disagree, AJ is that big that regardless of the losses, like in the UK, because I think Tony's from the US, in the UK, the idea of a loss or the idea of becoming undefeated isn't as amplified as it is in the US. Because in the UK, we've got like the guys with like Chisora, Dillian White, many other people, okay, who Dave Allen, many other individuals who have taken loss after loss, and they still get a huge audience. In fact, AJ, if AJ wanted to do a fight with Dillian White today, and Tyson Fury wanted to do a fight with Dillian White, today, exact same conditions, Wembley Stadium, the whole shebang. In my opinion, I think that AJ, despite his 2 losses on his record, okay, would sell out Wembley Stadium a lot more. He'll do more pay-per-view buys, irrespective of the 2 losses. So if he does another loss, I don't think it'll make a difference. Now, people's confidence in him becoming a world champion again, that will be tarnished. That will be tarnished. But I wouldn't necessarily say his stock will go down because he is the most well-known, one of the most well-known boxers in the UK, to an extent whereby you can show a picture of him and ask a group of little kids who've never watched a boxer fight in their life, do you know who that guy is? They'll say it's Anthony Joshua. Most of them will say it's Anthony Joshua. He's super well known in the UK. Even bruv, old ladies go to a nursing home and show a picture of Anthony Joshua. They will all I was about to say something bad, but they would all recognize him. So I think that his stock won't go down necessarily, but the confidence in the audience towards him becoming a better fighter or a world champion will be tarnished, if that makes sense. If AJ loses to Usyk, sorry, start like it. If AJ loses to JOYCE, he loses his rematch with Usyk. That means his belts are forever gone. It's stupid to take a risky fight. If AJ loses to JOYCE, he loses his rematch with Usyk. Yes. No, actually, would he? No, I don't. Would he? I don't think he would actually. In the event that happens, he won't lose the rematch to Usyk because the rematch to Usyk is a contractual rematch. Okay, that means that Usyk will have to fight AJ at some stage of his career if he returns back to it. Hopefully he'll be safe and sound and everything will be fine. But if Usyk returns to the ring, Usyk will have to fight Anthony Joshua because it's contractually agreed that they will fight each other. Now, if AJ loses to JOYCE, it wouldn't make a difference because he will still have to fight Alexander Usyk. That's how it works. Okay. Unless they do a special agreement that provided that AJ wins his next couple of fights, that they can still fight Usyk. It's a contractual agreement that has a rematch clause that's been triggered. So really and truly, lose or draw, he's fighting Usyk for the belt. Okay, because even though Usyk has got the belt and has won the fight, AJ still is the man in control in terms of a legality perspective. So I wouldn't say that's necessarily true, but it's a risky fight. AJ don't do fights that are not risky. Like, look at AJ's last, unless it's a mandatory that's been put in front of him and he says, you've got to fight this guy, otherwise you're going to lose your belt. Look at the rest of the fights he's had. They will be risky. Povetkin is bloody risky. Povetkin could have uppercutted him the same way he done to Dillian White. And Povetkin was a lot more fresher back then, even though he's 100% best, but he was still decent back then and he could cause AJ some problems. What's his name? JOYCE? Not JOYCE. Joseph Parker was a very good boxer. He's still a very good boxer at this point. Who else? Vladimir Klitschko. Like, this guy doesn't like the idea of a risk is don't register in AJ's brain. AJ is a risk taker. When Eddie Hearn turned around and said, AJ, who do you want to fight next in the absence of Alexander Usyk? AJ decided to list up a range of fighters, and this is the list: Deontay Wilder, Joe Joyce, Otto Wallin, Andy Ruiz, and that brother, Luis Ortiz. Those are the people on that list. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody from that list, or is there maybe somebody that I said by mistake? But those are the individuals on that list. Okay. When AJ was speaking, he weren't talking about bro. If you mentioned tune up fight to AJ, he'll bang you in the mouth. Tune up, bro. Are you done? Tune up. Like I could do a turn up at a little party, but tune up, nah, he won't do that. That's if you listen to AJ. Like if you listen to AJ a lot, he's not that type of fighter. It's like asking Canelo to fight a bum. He's not really going to do that. Chances are he's going to fight somebody good. He comes from that level of mindset. Big up Tony's review again. That's actually bodies Trump AJ's rematch clause. No, I wish they do. I wish they do, but they don't, because when the WBC had Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury situation, what happened was that the WBC said it's going to arbitration. It's going to arbitration. We can't do anything. Okay, what can we do? Nothing. Anyway, just go wait for that date to take place. Is what it is. So, as much as I would like rematch clauses to be abolished in boxing and sanctioning bodies to actually take a grip of fighters and tell them who they're going to fight next, irrespective of whether it's for a world title, unfortunately, that's not the circumstance we're living at this point of time. So, sanctioning bodies really don't care. At the point, they don't really care. Joe Joyce is already the man though for the WBO belt. Usyk will have to fight Joe Joyce before AJ even gets a chance at a rematch if he loses to Joyce. That is true. That is true. I agree with that. Usyk, unless AJ goes to fight either Tyson Fury or Dillian White shortly afterwards when they fight each other and wins that belt, the chances are it's good. If he loses to Joe Joyce, he's back in the queue. When I be back in the queue, it's going to be a hot minute for him to get his world title back. But I'd rather AJ take a risk, and if he loses, man. Provided, I don't think he can. I don't think he'll lose to Joe Joyce. Big man thing. I'm not being funny, but I don't think he'll lose to Joe Joyce. Can't lose to Joe Joyce. What could Joe Joyce do? Bro, the only thing Joe Joyce could do is just swallow AJ's punches and walk him down and just start jabbing him off. After that, and that's if AJ just allows it, because AJ is a lot quicker than Joe Joyce. Can, like, even Daniel Dubois caused Joe Joyce some problems. Carlos Taka banged man in the face a couple of times. Like, I'm not being funny, but I think AJ can knock this guy out. I thought this guy had a granite chin, but having really watched him again, I really think differently. That's just in my opinion. Some people may disagree. That's just in my opinion. Anyway, wrong. The WBC allowed Wilder to fight Fury. They could have stripped him, but they chose not to. So explained the entire situation. Mauricio's a crook, bro. From that fella, yeah, bro. He's a crook, fam. Yeah, he and Wilder are, yeah. Make it out as you would, yeah. That's what's going on. Him and Wilder are. That's what's going on, because like this is when I'm hearing the WBC and anything to do with corruption. This is the first thing I'm thinking.
When is it gonna end, Robbie? I've had enough of it.
That's the type of things I'm thinking. Okay, because it just keeps going on and on, man. So, I'm around children, so I can't really swear that loud. But you know the difference, guys. Big up. Oh crap. Really for the situation. Bruv, he's a liar, bruv. I don't trust that guy. If he tells me my birthday in October, I will tell him you're probably lying anyway. Tony's review says, I think JoJo's will be the brakes of AJ. AJ falls to pressure. All it takes is one solid punch from Joyce, and AJ will shell up like a turtle. But I don't think Joyce could do that. Solid one punch. It's a bit like the argument that people say with regards to Diddy White and Fury, because people say that Povetkin uppercutted Fury, or Diddy White lost to a 40-year-old Alexander Povetkin. What makes it good enough to beat Tyson Fury? Well, this is a very similar circumstance. Joyce doesn't pull out one punch knockouts, really. How he beat Carlos Taka was through a range of punches. I think AJ would be quick enough, skillful enough to evade those punches and block those punches that JoJo, apart from a jab. Well, what JoJo can do? What can he do besides a jab and a 1-2? Nothing. If AJ stands there, I just hands up, 1-2, jab, 1-2, jab, 1-2. Brother, he can't do nothing after that, bro. Do you think JoJo is doing some sort of inside hooks? No. AJ could do all of that. Jab, right hand, left hook, right hook, body shot, left, brother, the whole shebang. And really, coming to think about it, when I was watching that AJ sparring session or that technical sparring session with AJ, I just saw AJ just get into him so easily, with relative ease. I'm like, if this was a real boxing match, you'll just get battered, Like, bruv, do you know how much AJ will batter you? JoJo couldn't even touch AJ. And that in amateurs as well. AJ knocked him out in one round, and what more of a chin can you develop within your boxing career? Very minimal, because you can do neck workouts and you do the whole when you have the weights, you just do that like that. You can do that kind of nonsense, but really your chin's not going to develop anymore. And even though George has got a solid chin, I'm struggling to think that he could withstand the AJ power. I thought last year George could take a Deontay Wilder punch. Right now, having reviewed that a bit further, I'm not too sure anymore. That's just me. Shellig will cause him to get sparked out. I don't think he would shell. Because Shellig would mean that both hands are up, you're like this, like you just walk, like you're just taking those punches, like you're just taking it on the chin. I doubt AJ would do that. I think AJ would just be like, his defensive stance will be like this. He'll be like that. So if Joyce wants to throw whatever punch, AJ could just slip, jab, slip, right hand, like those sort of punches. I don't expect Joyce and if Joyce throws a flurry of 1-2s, 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 AJ could just literally go, okay, cool, all right, cool, like just cut him at different angles and really cause him some difficulty on that front. So it is possible that AJ could lose to Joyce. I'm not at 1 minute dismissing that possibility. I just find it a very unlikely possibility. Stylistically, this should be an easy fight for AJ. Again, like AJ would to fight somebody like who else? Somebody small. Alan Babbage. Now AJ is better than Alan Babbage. Much better than Alan Babbage. But Alan has the style that will cause AJ problems. He's a lot smaller. He packs a lot of power. He's relentless. Can take a punch as well. He could cause AJ somewhat of some difficulty. Joyce, even though he's a lot better than Alan Babbage, stylistically, bruv, be a walk in the park for AJ, man. Light work, man. What, bruv? What's he gonna do? Big juggernaut, like, bruv. Like, somebody told me what real problems would this man? Where is it, fam? I've lost it now. Oh shit, I've lost it. Oh shit. Yeah, what problems would this man cause? Because I've not seen it, guys. You lot let me know, because I ain't seen it. this man ain't gonna cause AJ no problems, in my opinion. Yeah, come to think of it, because like any angle that I think that he could win, I just think unless AJ comes in drunk or comes in like he did against Andy Ruiz the first time, where he was like he looked like he'd just been woken up. You know, when you've been in a deep sleep and someone throws water on you, just been woken up. It's like, what's going on? Fucking hell, mate. No, where am I? Oh, Madison Square Garden. Shit, man. What am I doing here, man? How'd I get here? Like, if AJ comes in that kind of a mindset, flipping, I could probably beat him. And I'm not even a heavyweight. Well, to be fair, I'm a bit overweight at this point, so maybe I don't want to jump on the scales, man. But I'm not supposed to be a heavyweight. I ain't supposed to be a heavyweight. Anyway, I think I read that. Did we? I think Joshua will beat the brakes of AJ. AJ falls to pressure. All it takes is will. Yeah, I think we read that. Hold on. Not all losses are the same. True. You can lose getting sparked out, or you can get battered like what AJ done. I agree. That's true. I agree. White was dominated Povetkin before he got sparked out. Agreed. He knocked Povetkin down twice with the round prior to being knocked out. That's true. AJ had lost twice by getting his ass whooped. By getting his bro. Like, you know how true that is. Albeit, actually, you know what? The first fight is you could justify that loss. You could justify that AJ lost for the first one because he looked like he was a deer in the headlights. He got caught on the equilibrium and he got concussed. And then ever since then he lost. I can somewhat accept that because regardless of whether you are in your best condition of your career, if you get caught with that sweet punch and you're just like all over the place, everything's all dizzy, I can understand when people turn around and say, yeah, like it, even though it was a loss, it's something you can kind of stomach. Okay, it's not as palatable as a one punch KO. However, I think that you can somewhat put some justification behind it. But the Usyk one, my goodness, no way. I refuse. That I'm not having it anymore. That one, I believe that AJ went into that fight with the wrong mindset, the wrong game plan, the wrong weight, the wrong team, Joseph quarter team, training team. Okay, during the fight, he made the wrong decisions. After the wrong decisions were made, the team done even worse because they didn't even tell him he was doing the wrong decisions. That one factually is worse. Oh my god! Even though Usyk's a better fighter, that would be a worse loss in my opinion. One was a knockout, one was a points win, but we can't accept that personally. Oh, just checking the time. I'd rather be one shot in the face in the fight I was dominated versus be beat up for 12 rounds. Facts. Absolute facts. It's true. It's absolutely true. But overall, I do want AJ to fight JOYCE. Then, if you can fight somebody similar to Usyk, because really and truly, who are you gonna fight? Luis Ortiz for me was a great option. Not gonna cause AJ too much problems. Very old, but stylistically, I would say in terms of all of the top 10, 15 heavyweights, he's the closest one to Alexander Usyk stylistically. Even though Usyk is very, very unique, but he's the closest one you're gonna get. So one of the closest is Otto Wallin, but Otto Wallin is a lot more of a comfortable fighter. I prefer Andy Ruiz simply because Andy Ruiz can implement the hand speed, the quick hand speed inside close distances. So I think that it will be a bit better that way. But like, if you're going to do 2 fights and it's JOYCE and Louis Ortiz, I'm comfortable with that. If I was going to do 2 fights, it'll probably be Otto Wallin, then Louis Ortiz, or Louis Ortiz, then Otto Wallin. That's my preferred options. But I'm comfortable either way, and I want AJ to win his belt back. If he doesn't, I'm gonna be really, really upset. Okay. Anyway, guys, we'll be back next week for the Fighting Talk Show. Subscribe to Off the Canvas Boxing, like the video on your way out because it helps out a lot. Next week's show, hopefully, we'll be talking about the Warrington versus Martinez. I think he's fighting Martinez next week. That will be a cracking fight. Can't wait for that fight in particular. What else? Hopefully AJ has some announcements sometime next week. And if we get some sort of announcements, great. If not, what's going on? Regardless of that, thank you for watching this video, guys. Like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, okay? It's for free. Hold on. I think we're close to 400 subs as well. So if you guys can click the subscribe button, share it to a couple of your mates. I'm not asking it to be your mum, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, every Tom, Dick, and Harry under the sun. No. But for me, if it's at least like a couple of people, that would help out a lot. So thank you for watching this video. Peace, love, and prosperity, guys. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.